Welcome back, everyone. Massachusetts banning bake sales during the school day and now wants to expand the ban to include evenings, weekends, and community events. I call that a buzzkill.
But can government really regulate you on what you put on your plate? Let's talk to Fox News senior judicial analyst and dietitian, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning.
Now, keep in mind, they're talking about banning the sale of these foods for fundraisers, foods that are legal.
Well, absolutely. I mean, basically, the state of Massachusetts has decided what it wants children to eat in the school and at home. And it is using authority that the Supreme Court of the United States gave to it. I'll explain that in a
Bong
moment.
hits.
To do so. You remember that crazy case, Bong Hits for Jesus? A meaningless phrase that some kid put up on a placard and held in front of a parade off school grounds and after school hours.
Right.
And the school disciplined him for it. And the Supreme Court said, yes, as long as students do something off school hours and off school grounds that might affect another student or might adversely affect the school's mission, the school can regulate that behavior. So using that sort of amorphous line of authority, the Department of Education in the state of Massachusetts wants to regulate the behavior of students and their parents after school hours involving student bake sales, and basically saying, because cupcakes are not good for young people, we don't want anybody selling cupcakes, even if it raises money for after school programs.
It's so dumb. Sorry. It's just so dumb.
It's unconstitutional.
You gotta wonder, does it have anything to do with the fact that Massachusetts was the first state to pass health care? Does it have anything to do with that?
I don't know. The people in Massachusetts are claiming they have good motivation, that they're worried about childhood obesity, and they're worried about people eating too much sugar.
But it's all about personal responsibility.
It's about personal responsibility, and it's about the overreach of the government. I honestly don't think the Supreme Court ever intended, when it said you can punish the kid for the Bong Hits for Jesus sign, that this type of reaching into the home by a school board would happen, and that's what's happening here. Can't we make our own decisions as to what we eat and not bow down to bureaucrats?
Well, you got to feel sorry for the schools because these fundraisers, the bake sales, actually make the money, and going forward, they need the money. Judge, thank you very much for dropping by and infuriating.
Where are those cupcakes on Wednesday?
I'm going to bring you one tomorrow, just on purpose. All right, you better
sell it to them.
You better
one
think
time or another
before
is
you
now the
click
target
like
of the
button.
obesity fight that is going on in the state of Massachusetts. The state health department officials there have banned bake sales, folks, in a push to try to get students to eat better and be more healthy. This move comes as a new study claims that the American obesity rate will jump to 42% by 2030. Well, that's not a good number. Nobody's going to feel good about that number. Michael Farris joins me. He's the president of parentalrights.org. So, Michael, basically they say they're going to do away with the bake sales. Also, candy sales that they do to raise money to take a class trip or for the baseball team or whatever they have to do. They say it's all really sending the wrong message. What say you, sir?
I say that overweight government is not going to solve the problem of childhood obesity. We need to make sure that parents and their friends and family are directly dealing with this problem. The idea that you can stop this by banning bake sales really is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying that it's a really important fundraising tool, and the reason that they keep doing it time and time again, the bake sale, you can raise $250 if your marching band needs to take a trip, or the candy thing, they say works really well for raising money in these projects. So they're thinking that maybe crudité is not going to be such a big selling point outside of the school after school's over.
Does anybody think the Campfire Girls would still be alive if they had Campfire Girl celery? I mean, it's cookies that's going to sell. And the reality is, some people have this problem, not everybody. And a one-size-fits-all government solution to a problem that's really for a few isn't the way to go in a free country. We're trying to control everybody's lives, not the lives of those who really need the help.
And you made a point in the beginning. Really, it's up to parents to sort of oversee what your kids eat. And maybe you say, well, you can split that. We'll buy one little bag of cookies and you guys can share them. I mean, it seems to me that the portions and the amount is really what has caused this obesity problem in America. And, that has long roots.
That, along with the fact that kids don't get out and play anymore. They need to get out and leave the Xbox alone and go outside and run around, climb some trees and ride their bikes. But those are things that parents can do, and the government is very unequipped to be able to make that kind of a change in a child's life.
So what's going on in Massachusetts? Is this going to pass, or is there an uproar that will, sort of make them come up with a different plan?
Well, who knows? Massachusetts has the nanny style of government down pretty well, in a pretty effective form of government there, but maybe the backlash will be sufficient. But hopefully no other state will decide that they don't like liberty this much, that they're going to try to control our lives in these kinds of really overreaching levels of interference.
Is there any role, do you think, for government or for school systems in sort of helping parents to think about it? It seems to me the kids get a lot of talk about nutrition at school. But as you point out, really it has to be happening at home. Is that something that you think government should have any role in?
Well, a little bit of role of an educator, perhaps here and there, but really it's got to be friends and family. Someone who sees a child that's in a situation, they need to go and talk to the family. Somebody who has an actual relationship, extended family, neighbors, friends. That's where it's really going to be effective. Government programs, government sheets aren't going to be as effective as an involved friend that really sees a need and steps in and says, you need to do something about this.
Yeah, so right. Michael Ferris, thank you very much. Good to have you
You're
here
welcome.
today.
Thank
I always get excited when I come out of church or school and there's a bake sale.
Yeah. Here we go.
It's a really
Sugar
good
high.
excuse. You feel like you're doing something good for somebody.
That's
You're
right.
going to help pay for the
And it's usually
bus
cheap,
trip.
too,
And
right?
you can get a bunch of cupcakes for about
Did you have
$5.
bake sales when you were young?
Sure.
Yeah, we went door to door selling chocolate bars.
We did that too.
It was $1.
I used to buy some of the bars with the money I got.
Eat them all. Yum.
Jenna Lee standing by, just listening to us dribble.
Yeah. She's like, enough already.
I just would like to mention that